Welcome to Listertainment, the channel that has a lie right on the name. Here we are again with another video in this series of regular people, which we'll call idiots, challenging highly trained fighters or professionals. I'm still trying to find videos where the idiots win, but it's hard because it's so rare when it happens. So far I have found 3, but on all 3 occasions the professionals were drunk. That explains the only way that could ever happen. Like the video if you want to see that video in the future. And if you like this video, please subscribe, also turn on notifications and share it on your social media. And please let me know down in the comments, what has been your favorite fight? I love the first fight between Juan Manuel Marquez and Juan Diaz. In these video clips we have this shorter guy who was being bullied by the taller guy. Making statements that he could never beat him because he was smaller than he was. He would continuously do this every time they met, but the shorter guy finally got fed up and decided to challenge him to a couple of sparring matches. Of course it was all bullshit from the bully, as he had only been training for about 4 months, while the shorter guy had been training for 4 years in kickboxing, doing it 2 times a day. Having a big mouth while being the new guy in the gym is never a good idea, since there's always someone willing to put you in your place. This time the person being bullied stood up and got payback.
这一拳确实很快啊！好，一个旅程，哎，指导，哎，不要再打了，不要再打，好，不要再打，快一点。
Here we have a so-called Wing Chun Kung Fu master, showing his skills against a professional MMA fighter. The MMA fighter actually goes around exposing fake martial arts masters, and this one is one of his best ones. At first, the master goes all in, throwing many punches and strikes, and the MMA fighter just covers up. But as soon as he feels his power, and he finds out that he doesn't actually know how to throw a punch, he drops his hands and just lets him land a couple more shots freely. Then he starts throwing his own punches, and these are powerful and well thrown, which makes the master retreat quickly. Then he is taken down very easily. The difference in technique is incredibly big, and since the master has never been punched, he basically gives up as soon as he feels any of the punches when they restart the fight. This is going to be the funniest video, as we have a guy trying to be like Bruce Lee, even putting on his uniform. His name is Tan Long, who challenges a professional MMA fighter in Xuan Wu. Long starts with a flying front kick that misses Wu completely, and as soon as he lands, he starts running for his life. He tries to reset his stance once again, but his lack of experience is in full view when he anticipates the kick from Wu to be coming low into the body, but instead it's a direct head kick. This kick makes him lose all composure, leading to him to be open to the second kick, which knocks him out. The challenger acted so cocky before the fight, making fun of Long, but he didn't even last 20 seconds. The guy in the black shorts is a street fighter who claims to have a record of 20 wins and 0 losses. And he walked into the World Triumph Martial Arts gym in Florida and exclaimed that he wanted to fight. The jiu-jitsu instructor agreed to the fight, but after signing the waivers, he changed the terms to a boxing fight only. Of course, the instructor had no issues, so they went ahead with a fight. This is not even his specialty, and he still destroyed him in record time. One of the main issues is, of course, the lack of real training, which means the challenger doesn't have any conditioning and gets tired extremely fast. He also doesn't have any punching technique, so he can't really hurt the instructor even when he drops his hands. All this guy did was make the instructor look awesome in front of his students, while looking like a jackass himself. The guy in the white pants is a Kung Fu master. Well, at least according to himself, since as we can see, he doesn't know how to fight in the least. The guy getting challenged is a Muay Thai fighter, and when they first start, you see the challenger just looking at the professional's hands, with his own hands at his side. So when a punch is thrown, he has no chance to block it or evade it. Damn, those kicks are terrifying. You would think that that punch would wake him up and lead him to put his hands up, but he continues to be an idiot and keeps fighting the same way. In no point in this video did it look like he could block or dodge any of the hits. He almost looked drunk, and in the end he got knocked out with another crazy kick. The guy wearing the pants is a trained boxer named Lorenzo Trevino, and after constantly being challenged by this guy to a fight in the streets and through text, he decided to invite him to his gym so they can have a sparring match in a safe environment. Once there, the challenger got asked if he wanted to go 100%, which he did, and well, that was a horrible decision. The technique shown by the boxer is amazing, while the challenger is just a giant joke. He almost gives his back when he's trying to cover up, and when he throws a punch, he never sets his feet. Finally, his defense is sad. At first, he tries to just cover up, but he still gets hit. So he does what an untrained guy does and tries to raise his head high and lean back, which is a huge mistake. It leaves him totally exposed to the knockout blow. In this video, I don't have to tell you who the Street Fighter is, as his body shape tells the whole story. He decided to challenge a highly trained MMA fighter, and well, the obvious happened. He got utterly destroyed. You can see that the MMA fighter is angry because he is going all out. And well, those two punches at the end after the guy was already passed out were uncalled for. But that only happens when a guy is truly angry. The taunting got to him, and he had to teach this challenger a harsh lesson that he will never forget. Here we have another quote-unquote fun video from YouTubers who decided to challenge professional MMA fighter Christian Gonzalez to some rounds of sparring. The professional is obviously not throwing with all his power, but he is still trying to hit them perfectly so they know that this is not a game. The worst thing you can do in this type of challenge is to actually try your hardest, because sometimes the competitive nature of the pro comes out and they can really get into it and get you with some really good shots. A couple of the guys found this out the hard way. The black guy and the white guy with the white shorts really took a hard beating. That kick at the end looked really rough, while the other guy had to tap out before he got choked out.
왼손잡이군요. 머리를 굉장히 좀 잘 움직여주고 있는데요. 오! 있는데요. 오! 있는데요. 오! 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 자, 올립니다. 끌 들어옵니다만 여의치 않았고요. 자, 마지막 30초인데요.
Now we have a bodybuilder with no fighting experience who got on a Japanese TV show to experience a fight with a professional martial artist. He's allowed by the pro to throw punches, but every so often the pro throws some half-power shots that hurt the bodybuilder every single time. He actually gets hurt by a pretty weak kick and punch, but they are perfectly placed since he has no head movement at all. As stated before, the bodybuilder does the correct thing by not going all out, as this makes the pro feel a little bit bad for him, so he also takes it easier on him. In the end, it's a clear victory for the pro that I assume is using about 20% of his abilities, 20% at the most. Now we reach this awesome video of a student who decided to challenge his teacher. As the saying goes, the student surpasses the teacher, but this turned out to be the complete opposite. The old teacher still had some lessons to teach the young man, and what a lesson that was. The teacher has to be like 60 years old, but he moves like he was 25. He has incredible body and head movement that leaves the student dumbfounded. The student is not able to block any of the punches, and to be honest, he lacks a ton of training. Maybe the teacher sucks at teaching, but he can really kick some ass. There's a part where the student throws both his hands in a swinging fashion, like he was ready to perform a hammer throw. Then the finale is incredible, as he is able to hurt the young guy with both hands. What makes this video even funnier is that the teacher almost falls trying to exit the ring, after putting a beating on that poor guy. So there you have it guys, another 10 idiots who mistakenly thought they could beat a highly trained fighter. How does this even get into your head, that your lazy dumbass can actually get into the ring with someone who has trained for years and just beat him? I still can't believe that there are so many videos of this happening, but at least this series will continue. Thanks for watching, see you next time.